I'm like this, man. Peace. If it's for peace, cool. You know, I roll with the majority back then. I wasn't one of them dudes to say, man, forget all that. I'm not doing none of that. Nah, I'm just gonna roll with the punches because it's like I'm not bigger than the team.
You know what just popped in my head when you said that? I think it was probably 89 or 90. I was at some kind of Farrakhan thing in the sports arena with my cousin. And you and the homies came up in there. You remember that?
Yeah.
What was going on where the homies were going to Farrakhan meetings?
Oh yeah, it was Big U. Big U, Keystone, Big Cat, Lil Cat. You was there, Kev Mac, huh? You wasn't there? Shawnee Mac was there though. I think Shawnee Mac was there. Shawnee Mac. Yeah, they just had, you know, Draws was really into the fair. He was into that movement, so he was one of them persons that you would push for betterment for, like, as far as being God conscious about, you know, the Farrakhan thing.
So the agenda, Farrakhan's agenda that night wasn't trying to bring the gangs together, or
yeah, it was. A Muslim named Oliver X. Beasley got killed by the police, and they had a big old rally at the sports arena because of that, and a lot of Crips and a lot of Bloods was there, and they donated money.
For the dime moves and the lokes, for the 6 foes on spokes, for the OGs that did a dime, came back around on parole, for the homegirls with the scrap game, little homies that gang bang, from Pelican Bay to YA, rearrange your mind frame. Yeah, I know what you been through, shit you had to go tend to. Your mama gave birth on the turf, I know them killers you kin to. This for the lost generation, broke as hell, man.
A lot of, lifting weights, and I was on swole, they start calling me Big Miz.
Original stutter box. Eastside 5, who's Pablo Bishop, Mill City Gangsta Bloods.
Yeah, Mac, video, you know, this is for sure. Yeah, Mac, video, open your soul.
This is only the beginning.
Like the Hoovers probably donated, that Faux Trade donate money to Grape Streets, the Blood, the Swans, all these different little gang members as a collective started donating money. And when we got in there, I see Space Ghost. Space Ghost and Nutty from 9-0. That's the ones that kicked it off. We got into it, the Hoovers, man. That was because of them.
Oh, it went down that night.
Yeah, it went down for a minute because it was Space Ghost, Nutty, and the guy named Dollar Bill from 9-0. I think they beat up some guy in the bathroom. And it damn near went down. All right, it may happen. And then you see Big U come up. Big U come up, and a few other homies came up and was like, we didn't get into no blows, but it damn near. We got into it the Hoovers when we first came in, but the Muslims was like, man, this is a rally, this is a peace rally, this and that. So we went our separate ways. But it was, I liked it. I liked what Farrakhan was speaking on, you know. I even went to the funeral. Oliver Bees, I went to his funeral. Yeah.
So fast forward now. You catch the chain. Where do you first land? In 1992.
Well, I landed in Wasco to a reception yard for 90 days. Me and Lil Mel from Harlem was Sellies. That's my guy. Me, him, Eddie Boy was there. Senator Pookie was there.
Back then?
Yeah, he came through. He had that little 6 years. Senator Pook, me, Eddie Boy, Money from Harlem. I want to say, what's the homie name from Raymond? My boy, though, I forgot his name, man. There was a few of us up there, though. We all was there. I stayed there 90 days, and I went to Old Folsom. Well, I went to New Folsom, then I went to Old Folsom.
Tell us about that. We hear these stories about Folsom.
Oh, yeah, Folsom was cool. I went to Fish Row in New Folsom. I met, first Crip I met was a butcher from Grape. I met him. My celly ended up being a dude named Pilo from A-Tray Gangster. That was my celly.
You're selling.
Yeah, it was my celly. He had came down from Pelican Bay. And I was in there. We was cool. I was on the top bunk. I wasn't tripping. He was cool. Got along. Wasn't on no. He told me he was strict. He told me out his mouth, I'm on some Crip shit, man. I ain't on that, you know. I said, all right, that's cool. And there it was there. Then they ended up moving him out, and he went across the street to Old Folsom. So I was there by myself for a minute. Then the dude from the Bay Area came. Then I stayed until I got classified, and they sent me across the street to Old Folsom. That's where I met, I seen Mark Moody. E-Dog, and a few other homies.
I'm sorry. I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around selling up with an enemy, and not just the enemy. You're in there for one of his homeboys. How does that even work? What kind of fucking conversations are you having? What are you in here for? How do you even respond to that?
Well, they never asked me that. He never asked me that, and I never asked nobody that happened to be an enemy. I never asked that. I mean, I think, to me, I don't know. That's just something I don't do, you know, because I feel like if I ask you something, and you tell me and I don't like it, then I gotta respond to it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just something I wouldn't do. I would never do.
So
unless you was rat, if you was, you know, if you done some bullshit that wasn't cool, then I would like to know if somebody else would have to tell me that's credible.
So 1992, you land in Folsom. What's going on in Folsom as far as politics, the gang dynamics? Who runs the yard? How's it structured? What's going on?
When I first got there,
is it racial? Is it gang? Is it?
No, it was both. You know, you had. That's when I knew about the neighborhood card or the old card, the Hoover card, the gangster card, all this whole stuff.
It was already split up like that?
Yeah, they got their cards, but when they come together, Crip is a Crip. If you a Crip, I mean, because I got blessed by my boy Trayvon from A-Tray, Hustle Rob Daddy. That nigga blessed me, man. He blessed me when I first hit the yard.
Wait a minute. What's his name?
His name Trayvon. Killer Rob from A-Tray. That's
Hustle Rob's pops?
Yeah, just real daddy, yeah. Look just like him. Yeah, that's his dad. He blessed me, man. He blessed me decent. And then my boy Eric Hatchett, and then that's when Eric Hatchett, Moody, all of them came over there, and they looked out when they was able to. But you, my thing is this, man. You wouldn't even expect nobody you deem your enemy to look out for you, man. It happened to me a few times to where I'm like, man, and the crazy thing about it, have my back. Because you know, when you hit a yard, you basically with the people that you came with. So you going to eat with the people you came with and everything. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it go. Whether you're blood, it don't really matter. You going to eat with them. Whatever you do, you're going to do with them in your cell. You and your cell is like right here. And that's just how it is, really. And that's when I really realized when I hit that level 4 that your enemies ain't your enemies, man. Because it be your enemies that's going to have your back and ready to go to bat for you before anybody, probably your own.
So the yards you were hitting back then, were these prison gangs up and running on these yards, or it was basically just...
The yard I was on was a lot of blue notes. There was a lot of Raymonds on the yard. It was a lot of 30s on the yard. I know they was hooked up. You had the skinheads, the ABs, you had the UBNs, which Peabody. I was on the yard with Peabody in Old Folsom. He's founder of UBN. He was a cool cat. He looked out. That's another cool cat right there, man. Number love with Peabody, man. Him and Evil Out, my guys.
My Eva Alpha Different Lane.
Yeah, that's my boy.
I think he's resting in
Yeah,
peace.
he is. I heard he got killed, but that was my boy in the county. Hey, man, that was my guy. But you just don't, man. I seen a lot of my thinking changed on them level fours about this so-called enemy stuff.
How long did it take for you to change? Because you're 21, you're still a young buck. How long did it take for you to evolve?
Evolve, shit. When I got out the shoe in 99, I was 28, 29. Got out the hole. I was in the hole for a riot with the Compton and Watts. The homies, we had a riot. When you get down to these lower levels, that's when the bullshit happened. So I was on the 3 yard. We had a big old riot over some gambling with the Compton and Watts, and it was about 50 some dudes out here. These dudes, knives and everything, going at each other, man. And we all go to the hole and sit up in that motherfucker, do a little bullshit shoe turn. And my mother came to visit me, my dad too, and she was like, man, I'm challenging you to change your way of thinking, change your life, because, man, you're not just doing this time by yourself. We doing this with you. And all you doing is you messing up, man, and you messing up your chances of coming home. So I'm challenging you to change your way of thinking and your behavior. I need you to do that. And I sat back in the bucket and I thought about what my mother was telling me, man, and I was just like, man, yeah, I do need to. And I had time to think about it. And when I got out the hole, I made that decision, at least go ahead and take that chance on trying to change the way I think, how I act. You know what I'm saying? Not involve myself in too much of this hood stuff, just try to kick back. You know what I'm saying? And that's where it started.
Was your family, were you actually taking legal steps to get released, or you just working on good behavior, dropping your points in the pen?
Well, I had a lawyer. I went through 2 or 3 lawyers, man, trying to get out of jail. So I was trying to get out the legal way, through the courts to see if I can get back, if I could withdraw my plea and all that. And that's hard. And it turned out to where I just needed to I just had to start doing things to prepare myself for the board, because the court way wasn't working. And I kept telling y'all, I'm coming home, man, I'm coming home. And, it's all about keeping hope alive, and staying grounded in what I believe, man. When I hit Folsom, in the beginning, it was like, shit, man, I don't know when I'm getting out, but I know one day it's going to happen one day. But until then, I'm going to do shit how I want to do it, when I want to do it. It's whatever.
What made you think you was coming home? No lifers at that time were getting paroled.
Well, I seen a lifer go home 2000, 99, 2000. A lifer went home, bro. From the board. Couldn't believe it. He was the first lifer I seen go home. When I seen him go home, I'm like, it's a possibility. But when I got down to a level 2, and I started seeing it, like 2005, that's when I was like, man, I gotta get my shit together, man. These motherfuckers going home.
How many times did you get denied at the board?
9.
9 times.
Yeah.
And you still tell motherfuckers I'm coming home.
Yeah. If I don't believe it, nobody else will.
When did you start working with Shay to come home? Is Shay the reason why you came home? Did you give her the credit?
Hell yeah. Yeah, girl, because she was giving me the game. She was giving me the wisdom on what I need to do because she had a husband that had life and she was working with him and he got out. So she was coaching me like, Ronald, do it this way. Ronald, do it this way. You need to do it this way. And maybe you need to say it this way. And she was writing, and she used to write me. Shay was a real sister, man. She was a real sister. Outside of my biologicals, that was also talking to me about the things I need to be doing. Shay was coaching me on the things I need to say to the board to get out. You know what I'm saying? That's what I needed, and that's what she was doing. And she did that, man. She helped me.
I heard one of the prerequisites was you had to admit to your crime.
Yeah,
and you were resisting that.
I was because I was resistant to my parents too, man. I never told them, man. I never told them, and I told them the truth later on, but it was just hard, man. Bad enough I disappointed them because I went to jail. You know what I'm saying? You know, because I lived in a household of parents. You know what I'm saying? And they raised me well. I wasn't abandoned or nothing like that. So it was kind of to me, it was embarrassing, man. And the reason why I ventured out to the streets really is because when you got 5 siblings in the house, 4 other siblings in the house, and you're not getting that attention, I guess you would say, like you expect or whatever, then sometimes you're going to feel a certain type of way.
I was under the impression that your Marine father ran a hard program and you couldn't deal with that.
He ran a program. And my dad wasn't that bad. I mean, he'll let me go where I wanted to go. But when it comes to going to jail, like when me and Smurf went to jail that time, I touched every wall in that room, man. Every wall. And me and Smurf went to jail for that writing on the walls on Keniston and stuff, just writing the hood everywhere. My pops was like, take me where you went to jail, man. And I go over there with him. I take him. He's all right. Go to the house. He's like, going in the room. I was like, oh, man. What this gonna do to me, man? I'm pacing the room and everything. As soon as my pops coming in, man, I'm like, I just touched every wall in the room. That dude was hitting me hard as a mug. And he got that 2x4. He hit me with it. Boom! I said, I said, you broke my arm. Just for him to get him up off me. And my pops said, nigga, I'm finna break your ass. I don't care about all that. Pops was hard. He ran a program, but he was lenient. He was real lenient. When I started gangbanging and all that, and I started getting kicked out of schools and stuff, it wasn't really nothing Pops could really say, man. He was just
you was a runaway kid, man.
I ran away from home a couple times. I sure did. Pops chased me out the house one time, man. Him and Mom was arguing in there. I pushed him off of him, and man, that man looked at me. I looked at him. I ran out the back door, hit the gate. He came chasing me in that van. When I hit Slauson, he was right in that van chasing me. I went to Danique house. Man. When I went to Danique house, I ended up staying with Jermaine, Boo Boo, baby Boo Boo, man. I ended up moving in with Boo Boo. I stayed with him. Then I moved in with Crip Charlie. Me and Charlie lived together. That's when, I just started making that fast money. I really started getting into
in the trenches.
Yeah, just selling dope and stuff and just making some money. Yeah, messing with them, I've been messing with them since we was kids. Like me and Jermaine go back. But Crenshaw, I used to fuck with the homies. But, man, when we used to go home together, I remember we'd get out of school, we'll wait for each other. And we'll just walk home, go down 11th Ave. We'll just walk everybody together, walk home. And then when we hit Slauson, everybody go their way.
Switch their own way.
Me, baby, wait. We'll go this way. Smurf or whatever, go this way. Lil Crip Crazy, Jermaine, Boo Boo, all the rest of the homies will go that way. Baby Scody and them, they'll go that way. So that's just how it was. That's what that love, you know what I mean?
That was the same way when we was there.
Yeah.
As soon as you hit Slauson, everybody starts breaking out.
Yeah, just breaking their own way. And yeah.
So let me ask you something. When you got 15 to life, once that 15 mark hits and you ain't coming home, what's going on in your mind? Because you said you thought you was going to come home at 12.
Yeah,
12 passed, and then the actual 15 passed. You ain't losing hope?
Because they was giving me 2-year denials at the time. When I was going to the board in the beginning, it was 1 to 5. They can give you from 1 year to 5-year denial. So I was always getting that 2-year denial when I was going. So when they started this Marcy Law, when they was talking about this 3, 5, 7, 10, 15-year denial, I was like, shit. I was like, man, I gotta make this count, man. But I went through the Marcy Law twice. And, you know, I was getting denied because of confidential information from other inmates on the yard, dropping kites or whatever. My behavior, fighting, or being in the hole. I gotta have so many years clean before they can even consider you to be released or even consider you to be suitable for parole. All that stuff. So they was using other little stuff like confidential information. Even if you got the time in, they was just bringing up little stuff to keep you down or keeping you denied. So I went through the Marcy twice and got 2 3-year denials. And then I got caught with a phone. I went to the hole for like 3-4 months. They used that for a while when I was going to the board. They used the phone. So finally, finally in 2018, man, my mother died on my birthday. And I went to the board 6 days later after my birthday, after she passed. When she died on the 31st, which is my birthday, I went to the board September 6th. And I got a date.
Let me ask you something. On that date when you went to see the board for the last time, was that your first time admitting to your crime?
No, it was like my second or third time admitting. And they asked me, why are you admitting to it now? I said, because I was in denial. I don't, I said it in our culture, you don't speak on nothing, you just keep it to yourself. I said, so by me being old and I learned and learning a lot of these groups I've taken, I have to be accountable for my actions. And my actions and everything. So I'm coming clean.
So what was the official, how many years did you actually do?
I did, when I got out, it'd be 29, close to 29.
From the 15 to life sentence.
Yeah.
All right, my man, now we home.
Yeah.
Are you settled in now?
Yeah, I'm getting there. I'm getting there.
Doing 29 years, do you have flashbacks of being on the yard or dreams or shit like that?
I know dreams, but I think being in the crowd, rubbing elbows with everybody, kind of gets to me still, because you be like, damn, man, you rubbing elbows all because you just not used to that, because on the yard, you're not rubbing elbows. It's a respect thing. You're not finna just run into nobody, bumping me, and that person ain't gonna say excuse me or something. And if he do it like he hard, he gonna get knocked down. But here it's like people bumping you and they're not saying nothing. It's like, damn, I'm just like, damn. But that part of it, but I'm still, my workout ethics is still, I'm trying to switch that up a little bit, but I still work out like I'm in the pen.
Well, that's a good question. When you wake up, you don't wonder, are you really home, or wonder if you're waking up in that cell?
In the beginning, I woke up and like, I can't believe this shit. That's just what I said. I said, I can't believe this shit, man. I'm out. When I was in the halfway house, I got up, I'm looking, I said, I can't believe this shit, man. I got my phone right here. I ain't got to hide my phone or nothing. I just got it right here. And I'm like, damn, I'm out. I'm really out. So it was like, it was like that. And it was like, man, sometimes I'll still be thinking about that. Like, damn, man. My sister posted something on Facebook, on Instagram about the day I paroled. And that just brought back, like, damn, man, I can't believe that was the best day ever.
The rumors out here was you wasn't getting paroled because you kept getting caught with phones.
I got caught with one phone, man.
So they was lying on.
But I was getting kites dropped on about phones. I was getting kites dropped on, but it was never a write-up or anything of that sort. But yeah, I only had one phone. No, I wouldn't get caught with them. But I was using them, and I remember y'all used to say, man, why you still using these phones? So it was like, I used to sneak up to call this guy. I couldn't even, I was like, I can't call him on no cell phone, man. This man would cuss me out, man. But yeah, it was, you gotta have a lot of discipline because them phones is addictive in there, man.
Let me ask you something. Doing 29 years and you get taken off the streets at 19, do you catch yourself trying to relive the past or trying to catch up and do things that you missed out on?
Not no more. I realize you can't get that back. So, I mean, whatever I missed out on, I just missed out on. Whatever it is I wanted to do back then, it'll resurface, So, I try not to relive the past about anything, It's good to reminisce. I reminisce. But as far as trying to, whatever I missed, it was for a reason, I guess. You know what I mean? Because the average person like us living this street life, what's the average lifespan? 21, 25?
If you're lucky.
If you're lucky. So it's like, shit. I'm just like, and I'm 50 now. I just turned 50, so shoot. Oh, man, shit.
Let me ask you something. I don't know why I keep harping on shit like this, but you attended Monsters Memorial, didn't you?
Yeah.
You didn't have no reservations about going on Florence and Normandy?
No. My boy Baby Spike got at me, and he was like, we having a candlelight for Monster. If you want to come, we can right here on Florence and Normandy. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to do that, man. I'm going to go. Because despite the little stuff that happened in the county, when I first met Monster, he was cool. You know what I'm saying? And my thing is this, I don't harp on bullcrap because all that stuff that we was doing in the past, I look at it, that was just business, man. That was just something that we do, man. And if I'm able to look past a lot of the stuff that goes on in prison, I can look past that. So I met Mumpy and I met Pretty Boy up there, and I paid my respects to all of them.
That's crazy. Y'all three going up there.
Yeah.
In any other decade, that would have been a no-no.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something. You mentioned Baby Spike. Is that the same one that was up at the Snoop Dogg party that night?
That's Lil Spike. That was Lil Spike, but Baby Spike is a guy that advocate peace amongst the two entities. He advocate peace. He pushes peace. So, and me and him walked the yard together. Me and him, we done chopped it up on the yard. That was my dog.
So over this 29 years, you built multiple relationships with so-called enemy sets.
Yeah. Him, Shady, Baby Shady from 74 Hoover. My boy Sleep from PVG. A gang of bloods. Inglewood family, my boy Bandit from Inglewood family. It's a lot. It's a lot.
Are you still in contact with a lot of these guys?
Yeah. I talked to Spike. I talked to Bandit. I seen Bandit at the casino. That's my guy. Shady. I got a picture with me and Shady at Monsters thing. We took a picture together. This is about being a man. Sometimes you just gotta step out of that zone of who you was and step into the man of who you are today and be like, man, I'm gonna do this, man. This is what it is.
Shout out to Kev, Mac, and King Real. It's Mr. 187 proof. I keep a strap on the side. The jealous got me strapped. Nigga, you know I'm ready to ride. You better hide when I come, cause I'm a dump when I come. Motherfucker, I be hitting them with that 50-round drum. Like thump, 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 thump. You motherfuckers is dead, cause they don't make no motherfucking vest for your head. Kill them all, kill them all. That's what a motherfucker said. If a nigga catch you slipping, they gon' put your ass to bed. Might as well bring a pillow and a blanket, taking them dirt naps. You playing with the motherfucking game, the game gon' play back. Take it from me, the motherfucking East Bay G. I know it's some niggas walking around this motherfucker that shouldn't be, but I'm focusing on my hog head cheese. Hide it from rats and put it on the back of my enemies. Like 20 racks for his head. Make that bitch nigga bleed. Bring me a body part just so a motherfucker can see that this nigga ain't breathing. He ain't breathing no more. Another tale from the hood, bitch. Welcome to the ghetto.